Well, you might have noticed that I'm standing here with a right-hand drive version of the Range Rover Velar. We're in jolly old England, where right drive is the right drive. Anyway, we're here to test the 2-liter gasoline, the petrol version of the Velar, which is a very different performance model than the base model in Canada, which is a 2-liter diesel, or the 3-liter high-zoot supercharged V6 in the best and the most expensive version of the Velar, the engine that's shared with the Jaguar F-Type S. Now, more on all that later. First, the big picture. The Velar is nothing like anything we've really seen from Land Rover before. It's an immensely stylish station wagon, crossover, SUV, call it what you will, but what we can't call it is a Defender. There's nothing square-jawed, nothing militaristic about this whatsoever. This is a racy wagon. To underscore its track-ready bona fides, Land Rover has this for you to play with. The lower of the two 10-inch touchscreens in the Range Rover Velar give you access to the vehicle settings functions. Tap and slide through to dynamic, and you can gain access to a lap counter that chronicles your hot shoeing and a G-force monitor to spell out your lateral Gs. It may not look like it, not with this racy body, but Land Rover types insist the Velar belongs in an off-road brand that brags about braving bogs and beaches and the bush. Even though the Velar has the track tools of a Porsche 911 Turbo, and with the supercharged V6 is capable of hitting 100 kilometers an hour in 5.7 seconds, it's still off-road ready. Off-road ready and on-road ready. Top speed limited to 250 kilometers an hour. Okay, let's be honest here. I would never risk scratching this lovely, height-adjustable, largely aluminum wagon in any kind of really nasty off-road setting. That would be nuts. The Velar looks about as at-home on the range as Melania Trump gardening in stilettos. In dynamic suspension mode, everything tightens up. The suspension is stiff, the steering is tight, and the vehicle overall is really quite agile. But height is height, and that means, well, the Velar, tall as it is, rolls and tips in corners. The Velar perfectly illustrates the transformation of Land Rover. Land Rover embarked on its journey 7 decades ago as a pure truck brand and something of a knockoff of the American Jeep. Land Rovers were aimed at military types and bushwhackers and mountain man wannabes. Today, Land Rover is morphing into a modern, high-performance, high-tech, largely urban, and eventually electrified collection of luxury cars. Yes, cars. Land Rover is becoming dotted with cars disguised as crossovers, and they're all masquerading as SUVs. Okay, bear with me for some numbers. In Canada, the Velar starts out at around $62,000 plus various fees and so on. You know the drill. This Velar here in Britain is also in the mid-60s, but 65,000 pounds as you see it, plus fees and all the oddments. This is not a bargain vehicle, not at all. The grand plan at Tata's Jaguar Land Rover is to blur the lines between cars and SUVs, between trucks and crossover wagons. Not only is the Velar tall, which affects dynamics, it's also heavy, about 2,100 kilograms as you're looking at it here. That said, the 4-liter turbo is powerful, it delivers lots of off-the-line grunt, and the 8-speed automatic is snappy, really nice, quick shifts, up and down, up and down. I do want to point out that tall vehicles have a big advantage in terms of accessibility. The hip point, well, it's right where you like it. You can climb in. Here it's the equivalent of, say, a Subaru Outback, and it's much lower than a Land Rover Range Rover or a Discovery. The two-box design here is marked by a clean skin, pop-out door handles, and a Priapic grille up front. What may surprise you, given the low roofline, is the amount of space inside. Lots of headroom, shoulder room, hip room, and leg room. There's room in here for 5 adults. And at the back, well, the cargo hold will hold, a big load of golf clubs. And if you own this, you probably play golf. The big design innovation in the cabin, twin touchscreens, both 10 inches, both the same size. Fire it up, And at the top screen, you have access to navigation, your various media choices, your phone, and down here you have access to the climate control, the seats, and the various dynamic functions of the vehicle. You can set it to auto, you can go into the pure dynamic program, eco, you can fire up your track programs. It's all here in this stack of screens. Elegant and a nice solution. The design here is spectacular. I don't think there's any arguing with that. Pricing, well, you need to climb a big pile of cash if you want ownership of one of these. And then there's the quality story. It's not a good one. Land Rover is consistently at the very bottom of third-party quality studies. If Land Rover really wants to compete on the global stage, grow the brand, add new models, and take over the world, they better fix the reliability, durability, and quality. This Land Rover Velar has a performance range and in the back, well, you've got lots of room for the Grand Plan to and so we see vehicles like from how you can fine-tune your Land Rover, Range Rover Velar